If you're looking to collect all of the artifacts to fight Grendal on Valguero, then you are going to want to watch this video because I'm going to show you where they all are and how to get to them. This is a full guide video including spoilers for the insides of the cave, so if you don't want any of that, I've put the cave locations and the artifacts they hold on screen now, so you can take a screenshot and adventure without an ABC guide. If you are looking for a full walkthrough guide for each of the artifacts, then let's dive in. First up, and probably the easiest to get to in terms of directions, we have the artifact of the Crag. You'll find this one in the Boreal Forest Cave, and the entrance to the cave can be found at latitude 34.3, longitude 51.4. This is the lava cave, and there are a couple of jumps across pits to get to the artifact, but there's a number of tames that can handle that, or you can just use grappling hooks. In this cave, you're going to find your normal cave creatures, so expect Arthroplura, Titan Boa, Onyx, Aranio, and Scorpions. There's also some dung beetles too if you need one for your farm. The creatures here can spawn up to level 300, so come prepared for that. To get to the artifact, you want to enter the cave and follow the path down. Turn left and then head towards this stream of lava coming out the ceiling. Then all you need to do is jump across some platforms until you reach the ledge where you'll find the artifact of the Crag. There are some cave drops on the lower levels as well if you want to venture down there, and that's what you'll need your grappling hooks for. The next artifact is the artifact of the Gatekeeper, and it can be found in the Emerald Forest, the underground aberration cave on the map. There are two entrances to the Emerald Forest, but the one I'm going to be using for this video can be found at latitude 37.9, longitude 57.8. The Gatekeeper artifact is within the red zone on this cave, and there is radiation there, so you are going to need a hazard suit or tech gear to get in and out. You're going to find aberrant cave creatures within the red zone as well as rock drakes, so make sure to come prepared with those. To get to the artifact, you want to enter the Emerald Forest and head down the ramp. Stick close to the right hand wall and look out for the opening on the right that leads you down into the main part of the cave. Once you've made this right hand turn, it is best to stick to the left hand side so that you can find the next ramp that takes you further down. When you reach these large yellow crystals on the wall, you want to start hugging the right hand wall and follow it round until you reach this drop. Jump down off the ledge and keep heading right, and then you will come to the entrance of the red zone around latitude 35.6, longitude 65.2. This is where the radiation area starts. Enter the new section and follow the path down. When you reach this large stone pillar, you want to turn right and head out across a land bridge. Once you're on the bridge, if you head to the left, you'll see a drop down to the floor below. You can drop down here and head along the cave floor, or you can continue across the rock bridge and follow the ramp down the far side. Keep heading through the cave towards the large glass wall at the far end, and on a rock platform you'll find the artifact of the Gatekeeper. There's lots of useful resources in this part of the cave, including obsidian, red gems and black pearls. You can also pick up rock drake eggs that spawn in the nests here too. The Snow Mountain Cave holds the artifacts of the Destroyer and Cunning, and you'll find the entrance to this cave at latitude 15.6, longitude 27.5. The cave is filled with the usual snow cave creatures, including polar bears, direwolves and polovia. These can spawn in at up to level 300, so bring some strong tames or good weapons and armour, or all of the above for good measure. The initial entrance to the cave is quite narrow, but once you're inside there's plenty of space to deploy a large mount. It's a good idea to bring some grappling hooks as there are a few drops that you'll want to be able to climb back up. To get to the artifact of the Destroyer, you'll need to enter the main cave and follow the path that spirals down around the outside edge. When you get to this little waterfall, cross over it and then start looking for an opening in the left hand wall. Go through the ice doorway and then drop down off the ledge. Follow the path and then just jump across these platforms to the far side where you'll find the artifact of the Destroyer. On single player, this artifact doesn't always spawn in straight away, so if you don't find it here, leave the area and then come back and it should have spawned in. To get to the artifact of the Cunning, head back to the main cave room and continue heading down the main path around the outside of the cave. Further down, you'll find another doorway on your left. Head through this doorway and you'll come across another room with a drop in it. Drop down to the floor below and head towards the door on the other side of the room. Pass through this doorway, clear the creatures that spawn in the next room, and then you will find the artifact of the Cunning tucked away in this little structure at the back. To retrieve the artifact of the Skylord, you'll want to head to the Whitecliff Caverns and you'll find the entrance to this cave at latitude 78.2, longitude 90.4. Within this cave, you're going to find Aranio, scorpions, titan boa, piranha and sarcos, which can spawn up to level 300. And as you're going to need to go underwater to reach the artifact, you'll want to bring scuba kit or an aquatic tame like a Barry. Head into the cave and follow the path down into the main cavern. Here you'll find a large pool and you need to head to the far end of it. When you reach the far end of the pool, look out for this tree and dive down in front of it. Here you'll find an underwater passage. Head through the tunnel and when you surface on the other side, you'll find an island that has some creatures on it and a small shrine that holds the artifact of the Skylord. When you've claimed the artifact, head back to the main cave and go through the tunnel behind the tree. Follow the path a little way and you'll come across this hidden shrine where you can find a couple of featherlights and an aberrant otter. The Lost Temple holds the artifacts of the Brute and Devourer. You'll find the entrance at latitude 46.8, longitude 87.4. And inside this cave you've got a whole host of creatures including Arthropleura, Aranio, scorpions, onyx, electrophorus and ammonites. The creatures in this cave seem to have a normal level cap, so they should be a max of level 150. In this cave you're going to need grappling hooks, and a parachute might not be a terrible idea either, as there's quite a substantial drop to negotiate. A scuba tank would also be handy if you choose to use the water exit to leave the temple. To retrieve the artifact of the Brute, you first need to open the door to the temple, and to do this you'll find a button tucked away down on the left hand side at the bottom of the stairs. Once you press the button, the door will open and you can head inside. Follow the corridor straight ahead of you, and when you reach the main first room with the waterfall in it, you're going to want to jump all the way down to the bottom. When you get to the bottom, look for the text structure on the wall and then head around to the right and exit the pool on that bank. You'll find a stone doorway that you need to head through. Stay to the right and follow the path through the next doorway. Just keep following this tunnel and you'll come to a room with large ruins in the middle. Head to the ruins and you'll find the artifact of the Brute. Our next stop is the artifact of the Devourer, and if you're coming from the Brute, then you need to head all the way back to the pool at the bottom of the waterfall. If you're coming from the entrance, then follow the instructions from the artifact until you reach this pool as well. You're definitely going to need grappling hooks for this artifact, so make sure that you've brought some. From the pool, you want to find the text structure on the wall and this time turn around to the left. Head up the bank and into the tunnel ahead. When you reach this gnarly twisted tree, you're going to want to head right. There is a rock here that you need to break in order to clear the way through. Follow this tunnel all the way until you reach this room with a pool. There is a loot drop in the water here if you want to claim it, but look out for Electrophorus. In this room you want to follow the path around the outside of the pool to the far side. Here you'll find a small opening in the rocks and a little path that takes you to another pool. Dive into this water and then head through the next little room on the far side. Here you'll find a narrow opening that takes you into a large underground chamber. There are some cave drops to loot around this cave, but to get to the artifact you want to head straight across the cave to this large pillar in the middle. Head around the platform at the bottom to the left and then look up. Above you, you will see a rocky ledge surrounded by yellow crystals. Grapple up onto that ledge and here you will find the artifact of the Devourer. There is a massive death pit underneath you as you swing, so make sure you don't misjudge it. To exit the cave, you can either go back the way you came and grapple back up the waterfall, or you can swim out through a tunnel system. To swim out, you're probably going to need an oxygen tank, but if you happen to have one with you, drop back down to the central platform with the large stone pillar, and beneath the artifact ledge you will see an opening in the wall straight ahead. Make your way over to this, avoiding the death pit, and inside this little alcove you'll find a pool of water. Dive in here and head to your right where you'll find a tunnel marked with glowing blue crystals. Pass through the tunnel, fighting off the eurypterids and eels, and then swim upwards to the surface. Leave the water and run through the next tunnel that's lined with green mushrooms until you reach another pool. Again, you want to dive in, swim through the tunnel, and then head up the water elevator. At the top of this one, you'll find an area temple. Head up the ramp and make your way to the wall straight ahead. To the right, you'll find a button that opens the hidden door and lets you back out into the very first room of the Lost Temple. The Lair is the cave that holds the artifacts of the Strong, Immune and Pack, and you'll find it at latitude 73.8, longitude 41.8. It's guarded by the Broodmother, Aranio and Onyx. Technically, you can get into the Lair without defeating the Broodmother, but it's probably going to make your life easier in the long run if you clear this area first. Within the cave, you're going to find more Aranio as well as your normal swampy cave creatures, including Arthropleura, Titan Boa, Achatina and bugs. These can reach level 300, so come prepared for that. There's a lot of noxious gas, so you'll want to bring a gas mask or two so that you don't die. You can fit most standard caving mounts into this cave, but there are some crouches to go through, so make sure you bring some good weapons too. There are also some underwater areas to be explored, so make sure to bring some scuba gear and an aquatic mount too. The first artifact that we're going to retrieve is the Artifact of the Strong. To enter the actual cave, head to latitude 74.0, longitude 41.9 and head down the slope towards the green glow. Keep following this tunnel until you come to this gnarly tree. Stay to the right and head down the slope. Continue on a little way and then you'll come across this little opening in the right hand wall. Stay on the left hand side of this room and make your way to the other side where you'll find this tunnel covered in spider webs. Go through the tunnel and then turn left in the next room. Keep going straight and you will reach this ledge. Jump over the gap and make your way into the next part of the cave. In the next room behind this massive rock column, you'll find the Artifact of the Strong. To get to the Artifact of the Immune from the Artifact of the Strong, head back towards the gap that you jumped across. If you're coming from the entrance, follow the instructions from the pack until you reach that ledge. Once you're on the ledge, you want to drop all the way down to the bottom of the cave. At the bottom of the trench, you want to look for these mushrooms, and they will be on your right if you're coming from the Artifact of the Strong, and on your left if you're coming from the entrance. Make your way through the doorway and into the next part of the cave. In the back right hand corner of this new room, there is a ledge, and that is where you will find the Artifact of the Immune. Our final artifact is the Artifact of the Pack, and you will also find this one in the Lair. This is the part of the cave where you're going to need scuba gear and possibly an aquatic mount too. If you're coming from the Artifact of the Strong or Immune, then make your way back up to the top of those ledges. With the doorway to the cave that holds the Artifact of the Pack behind you, head towards the main part of the cave. When you reach this tree, the doorway to your right will lead you out, but to get to the artifact you need to turn left. When you get to the next room, you'll come across another tree with these funny shaped roots, and you want to go around to the right, past this tree and through the doorway behind it. Follow this new tunnel all the way to the end and you'll come to a pool of water. Dive into the pool and follow the underwater tunnel all the way along until you come to this area where you can surface. Climb out the other side, run a little bit further and you'll find the Artifact of the Pack. So that is where to find all of the artifacts on Valguero, and now you can go and fight all 3 versions of Grendal. Hopefully the guide was useful. If it was, make sure to leave a like, and with that I will see you in the ARK. Take care.